which program is the right one for them, if I can get that out.
Absolutely. So just as with any other loan, you have to be pre-approved on your income and your debts, right? Your debt to income ratio. So a lot of what is part of the pre-approval process is we need to verify your income, and we need to verify your credit history, your credit worthiness, and how much debt do you have in order to determine if you can afford the house that you want or the house that you maybe need or can't afford to get into. So really we look for your income documentation, whether it's W-2, 1099, tax returns, bank statements, things of that nature, because we really do. We have to make sure that we have all your income calculated properly before we issue that pre-approval, because we don't want to issue you an incorrect pre-approval and then you're shopping around and you find the house of your dreams and then come to find out you really don't qualify for it.
You know, it's amazing that you say that, because it happens. I mean, and this personally happened to me. And I just, it was a neighbor and she wanted to see this particular house, and I said, sure, and she loved it and went to get a pre-approval, and she did not qualify for it. So it was heartbreaking to watch. So it was a lesson definitely learned, even with the neighbor. That will not happen again.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's so true. Thank you for pointing that out. We want to make sure, again, sustainability. And I spoke earlier in the intro about, in the beginning of the show, about how having that realtor that's right for you. And if you get a pre-approval letter that is a $500,000 pre-approval letter and you're a first-time home buyer, look at something around 425, 400, 425. It's your first time home purchase, right? Sustainability is key. So it's really important for that. Okay, so what is the normal processing time for pre-approvals? I know you have where they can apply online, right? And everything goes through that. What's the normal pre-approval and loans with CMG, and how long do the pre-approvals last?
Absolutely. So pre-approvals from when the consumer puts in an application typically takes me 24 to 48 hours to turn around a pre-approval. Now pre-approvals are good up to 4 months, which is the before we'll have to re-pull your credit again. So about 180 days. And typically once we come into contract and you go shopping and you get to do all the fun stuff with your realtor, then you come back to me with the contract and we go through the process. Now CMG I've done a loan in 2 weeks. I've pushed out a loan in 2 weeks. It just all depends. The biggest hang up typically is going to be your appraisal. Takes typically the longest. In and out of underwriting, the first round is typically 24 to 48 hours for CMG.
Well, I know, again, with the, your forward technology, or, when you're looking at the technology that CMG has and having access online, it just makes things easier. So when you're applying for a loan, I know that's not new and it's not different. However, knowing that you are a cell phone call away or a text away makes a difference. So again, everyone, if you're looking for a loan, consider CMG. Take a look at Liz, look at her website, because she literally is a phone call away and she will be at your closing. So we are ending our segment with you, Liz. I'm so sorry. There's so much more that we could talk about. I mean, even the seller buy down, we got to talk more about that. So how does everyone get a hold of you?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can reach me. The easiest way to reach me is shoot me a text or give me a call on my cell phone, 832-239-2313, or shoot me an email at lizp@cmgfi.com.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you being
Michelle.
here today. And we'll be right back after this commercial break.
I was recently asked what it means to be a family lawyer. What is family law? Family law is not just about divorce or custody or child support. Family law is about your life. As a family lawyer, I protect your children, your wealth, your future. I don't do this alone. As your attorney, we work as a team to determine your goals and priorities and provide a strategy in an often complex, painful, and confusing time. Whether it's asset protection through pre- or post-marital agreements or fighting to protect your children, I'm here to help. My team and I bring decades of combined experience to support you and your family in all aspects of family and wealth planning, from estate and legacy planning to divorce and child custody issues, to representation in complex litigation cases. Take a decisive step. We're here when you're ready. Remember, it's about your life.
According to the FBI, a robbery occurs every 13 seconds. Homes and businesses without a reliable security system are 300% more likely to be burglarized. Alert 360 provides custom-tailored rock-solid security solutions to residential and commercial customers. Whether it's home security, fire and carbon monoxide detection, flood protection, connected senior care, managed video surveillance solutions, 24/7 alarm monitoring, and life safety, Alert 360 is your ideal solution. In addition, Alert 360 has smart home and business integrations like access control and video shield for a complete peace of mind, protecting what matters the most and reducing energy costs with our top-of-the-line automatic scheduling functions. Alert 360 offers security services discounts to military personnel, veterans, first responders, educators, and hospital personnel. Don't be a victim. Take a strong step today. Call Rosana Torres at 832-863-8574 for your free consultation.
Welcome back, everyone. Michelle Briggs here, your host for Your Personal Real Estate. We are continuing the show today with Shona Bascone. She is the franchise owner of Gotcha Covered Galleria Uptown. And how are you doing today, Shona?
Doing great. Thank you for having me, Michelle. I love times with you. They're always so much fun.
I enjoy you as well, and thank you for being a part of us today. So, tell us about you and your business.
Well, Gotcha Covered is a local family-owned business. My husband and I own it together, and we are a custom window treatment company. So we help homeowners and businesses come up with the right window treatment for them. So whether it's blinds, shades, shutters, drapery, outdoor rollers, we help you find something that's beautiful, fits your style, and is also functional for how you use your home or your business.
Now, how long have you been in this business?
Gosh, it's going on 5 years. Coming up on 5 years.
I love it.
Yeah,
Now, family owned, operated, this franchise, Galleria Uptown. Now, with the area, when you're working with homeowners or individuals that are looking to improve their window coverings, I mean, what are a couple of questions that you hear consistently in the business, and how do you assist them with the concerns or misconceptions?
So the biggest question I get all the time is, how much does it cost for a standard window? So there are no standard windows in Houston. Everybody thinks they have a standard window, but they're all different sizes. And so what I tell them is, I can't tell you individually because it depends on the fabric you pick, the manufacturer, if you pick motorization or cordless, so all those things come into the pricing method. But what I tell them is, take the value of your home and do 2% and 4% of that value. And that will give you a range of what you should expect to spend on custom window treatments. Because we're consultants, we're going to help you go through and weed through all the different things there are that you have to consider and think about to come up with the perfect solution for you in your home or your business.
So when you go out, and I'm adding this into our conversation because what does it look like? So you have different items and actual touch feel products, and you can show them how it works. Tell us a little bit about those.
Yeah, so we bring everything to your home. We set up an appointment for you for a complimentary consultation, and it's really important to see it in your home with your furnishings, your paint, and what you have outdoors as well. So because things change color in different lighting. So if you look at it in one house with one paint color, it's going to look different in your house with different paint coloring. So it's really good to go out to the home if we can and hold everything up to the windows, show you the different fabrics, because fabrics will look different depending on how much light is coming in as well from the outdoors. So that's what we do. We go out, we do the consultation, and I talk to you beforehand, kind of help narrow some things down, kind of get a feel for your style, and then that can make the session go much more efficiently if we can talk in advance.
I love, when I was looking at your website, you have an area that is Get Inspired. Can you tell us about that? I mean, we all love being inspired, right?
Yes.
So what is that about?
Yes, it's a fun thing that we have. It's a web-based program, and it has pictures of all kinds of different room settings with different window treatments in them. And you can even kind of see what type of window treatments are in there. It'll tell you. So I send you the link when we set up our complimentary consultation, and then you go in and you like your favorite shade or room. And then that gives me an idea of your style. And also I can then, when we're out there at your home or your business, ask some more questions. How are you going to use the room? You know, what's the problem in this room? Is it glare? Is it heat? Is it privacy? And then I can connect that with what you've been looking at and what you like. And then I can say, okay, this one's going to work for this, or, you know, that window treatment that you liked is not the best solution for this window or this room. And I can help you pick out the best solution that fits your style and your likes.
Right, because, you know, as you're mentioning about lighting, you know, when you have a room that's facing west, right, that's getting the sun east-west, in determining, what shades do you have, or what window coverings do you have that help with that and keep that heat out? Yeah,
the best one right now, or the best one anytime, is our honeycombs. So they are specifically made, created in the 70s during the energy crisis to cut down on the heat transfer from the outside into the house, and during the winter from the heat inside the house to outside. So it's really good to use those in windows that are south facing, and they can be motorized. You can have top down where you can lower it from the top, or you can raise it from the bottom. That gives you a lot of flexibility in how you can use it in each room. So those are great in bedrooms too that are south facing, because it keeps that heat out, keeps the room cool. But in the morning, you kind of want to take it down from the top down, see what the weather's like outside, and also just you can still walk around and get light in your room, but you still have privacy because no one can see in, because you can control the height of that top bar of your window treatment. So that's the best one for heat. Then there's also roller screens, which help reduce heat and give you UV protection. The honeycombs also give you UV protection for your furnishings, your floors. And but the screens, you can see through them a little bit more, and they're a little bit more modern. So it just depends on your style of which one's best for you.
I love that. And there's many, many choices. I mean, I'm sure you're in the thousands. I mean, how many choices really are there in window coverings?
There are so many choices. There are so many manufacturers. So it's, you know, good to work with someone that knows that, and we know all those different manufacturers and which type of systems work best and which motors are quieter than the other ones. So if that's an issue for you, then, you know, we can make those recommendations as well.
Great. Okay, so for fun, what window covers or coverings are trending? I mean, are there certain colors that we're seeing in 2023? What is it looking like?
Oh, there's bright colors. Bright colors are what's coming in 2023. That's what a lot of the trends are. Doesn't mean that's what you have to do or what everybody does, but that does give you an idea of what's trending in the country. So bright colors, and then for the window treatments themselves, faux blinds are always the most popular, followed by honeycombs, and then the third are roller shades are the most popular. So those are kind of those have been the trends for probably about the last 5 to 10 years for what's most popular with shades, but bright colors. So if you like bright colors, this is your year.
All right, I love that. Okay, so one of the things when you're redecorating your home, I mean, window coverings can add value. I mean, they really can. So, you know, my understanding is you always want to do your window coverings or window shades, curtains, as the last step in the redecorating process. Is that correct?
So, not always. It depends on what you're going to do. So if you're remodeling and you're taking it right down to the studs, and you want to consider motorization, which will help with the resale because it will all be hardwired, you have to do that in the initial design because those wires have to be run before the drywall's put up. So if you're going to do that, that's something you need to consider early on. But again, go back to that 2 to 4%, what's going to be the value of your home after the improvement, and figure that's how much you'll be spending on your house.
I love that. Yeah. Okay, well, good. That is good. That is great information. Really good information. So Custom Home Builders, right, when you're calling Shona, that's for the motorization, that's the time to do it, right?
Yes.
So wonderful. All right, so what are a couple of tips or tricks that you can share with us, not only for the inside, but for the outside too, when it comes to window coverings or shades, or, you know, is there really, you know, from stopping that sun from hitting you when you're outside enjoying the day?
Right. Well, if you have a covered patio, outdoor roller shades are great and gaining a lot of popularity. So you can get them with tracks on them, actually, where you can bring it down and keep the bugs out. So when we're having that beautiful fall and spring weather, You can have those down, keep the bugs out. You can go out there, maybe have an outdoor TV, sit out there in the evening with a nice cool breeze and have the bugs out. You can keep the pets in and the children in and have a great time out on the patio. So that's one thing that's trending. Another little tip is, if you're a new homeowner, you don't have to do the whole house all at once. Think about the rooms that you're going to use the most and where you want to have just beautiful treatments. And then spend your money on those, and then you can always do the other rooms later. I get a lot of young couples who are buying a 3 or 4 bedroom house and they don't have kids yet because they're going to have those in the future. I tell them, okay, well, let's wait on the bedrooms. Unless you're going to have a lot of guests or you're going to be renting those rooms out, we don't have to do the bedrooms right now. Let's get your bedroom in the living room. So
that is great. Well, Shona, thank you for being with us today. And we have her information below. Please jot that down. Reach out to Shona. Have her come out. Have get some customized window covering. It's amazing. They're beautiful when it's all done. And we will be right back after this commercial break.
Hey, Lily says AT&T's giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
If you have the perfect health insurance plan and you don't want to save any money, you might want to stop listening now. However, if you are like the rest of us who know that the #1 cause of bankruptcy is unexpected medical costs due to subpar coverage, you really want to listen closely. Even if you owe 20% of your medical costs for a large claim, like cancer or a bad accident, it will wipe out the wealth you've worked for your entire career. That's why when it comes to choosing health insurance, it's important to get the right coverage for you and your family. I'm April Clark with Clark Health Insurance. My mission and passion is to simplify the process for small business owners, families, and self-employed individuals. Protect your health and start saving money on your insurance today.
The tax and bookkeeping team is key to any successful business. At Gunderson's Bookkeeping, our passion is to help small business owners grow, be profitable, and to prosper. We specialize in supporting small to mid-sized business owners who want to hire a full-time or even a part-time bookkeeper, but just do not have the funds. In addition, we free business owners from the tedious tasks of bookkeeping and help them focus on their business operations, their growth, and profitability. Gunderson's Bookkeeping is your business solutions partner offering a broad range of services to meet the needs of our clients. A profitable business needs accurate and reliable books, so take a strong step and call us today for your personal, no-risk consultation.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, Michelle Briggs with Your Personal Real Estate, and we are continuing today our conversation with Cody Lehman. Now, he is the Chief Sales Officer with Max Protection. How are you doing today, Cody?
I'm doing very well, Michelle. Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm glad you're here. So, tell us about you and tell us about Max Protection.
Well, I've been in the security industry about just shy of 10 years, and Max Protection is an authorized dealer of ADT. So we sell ADT products and services, and definitely I would say roughly 30-35 years of security experience between the people who founded Max Protection. And our internal motto is people first. So the organization is focused specifically on the customer and the customer experience, which it feels kind of like the industry and really just the world in general is kind of getting away from that type of model. And we're trying to keep everything that we do take into consideration all aspects and all people involved in the process. So from the representative to the customer, the technician, leadership, all things involved in that.
Well, Cody, I know you have an amazing team. And you have bilingual team members as well. Speak Spanish?
Of course, absolutely. We've got Mandarin, Spanish, and English, obviously.
I love that. I love that. Well, I've met several of your team members. They have a great facility here in the Houston market. So thank you for being right around the corner for us and having an amazing team.
Absolutely.
So often, I have customers that tell me that they've been approached by multiple vendors, including ADT, after they close or after they purchase their home. What recommendations do you have, or would you have, as far as how do consumers or new buyers navigate all of those different vendors that are approaching them?
Yeah, that's a fair question. I mean, if you've bought a home, you've gone through that experience. From pest control to solar, security, anything you would potentially want when you're purchasing a home. So, my best recommendation would be to just verify that that person is licensed to do what they're saying they're doing. That's usually found on a business card or a badge. Typically they should have a logo, but it's possible that they could be wearing a button up like I'm wearing. But they should at least have some sort of identification with a license number that verifies that they are who they say they are. Past that, I would say these are just normal people that are looking for potential new customers, and obviously new homeowners fit into the potential new customers of a lot of different industries.
Exactly. Now we've, as a realtor being in this business, it's amazing that I don't know how they obtain the information.
Right.
I know I reached out to you, and I chose Max Protection for my clients because of where you are located, because you are a phone call away. And I know that if there's any challenges that my clients have, that you're a resource for us.
Right.
So, I invite everyone watching today, when you're looking at security systems, it may not be the lowest price, it's the best deal.
Right.
I mean, really look at everything, know who you're working with, and allowing them, give opportunity to learn about who they are and really get to know them. So don't just go buy a website and get the best deal for you, right? You don't know who's installing that, so keep that in mind. So, talking about that, what are some do's and don'ts when it comes to buying a security system? What should the new buyer be looking for? What should they consider possibly not doing? Tell us a little bit about the do's and don'ts of security systems.
I would say in general you should just ask questions. Questions should revolve around, everyone's going to ask the question of how much it costs, but what type of warranty am I getting? Are there stipulations that revolve around that warranty? How long have you been in the industry in general? Just what you'll find at Max Protection versus other companies is a lot of times you could be dealing with somebody that's very new to the industry, so they don't even know that they're not designing the system properly or not bringing up products that you should be asking about, versus the average tenure at Max Protection is probably 6 or 7 years as far as how long they've been in the industry, and that is extremely valuable to a consumer, especially in the Houston area. That's 60-70% of the houses in Houston have some components of an alarm system already there. Having someone that understands how to navigate, what do I have, does it work, is it compatible, should I even want to use it, that's extremely valuable in and of itself. So do's, ask questions, verify that they're actually licensed and experienced to do what you're asking them to do, and then I would say don't focus on price. ADT is not the most expensive. I'm not scared to have a conversation that revolves around price, but we're not the cheapest either. We don't want to be the cheapest. That's a market that's specific to someone, and it's not specific to us. So definitely ask questions, verify who you're talking to, but do not focus on price, and definitely don't be scared to have a conversation, even if they did approach you at your door.
Now, within your systems at Max Protection, working with ADT, you can specialize it. So not everyone needs 10 cameras and 50 sensors or whatever. I'm throwing numbers out there. Yep. It's not about the cost, but are there upfront fees? Is there something that they say, okay, well, I'm looking at a security system, I should budget X amount of dollars to get this started? Are there upfront fees?
Right. Well, one thing I will say is that, in general, that's going to depend on each individual situation, each home. Do you have existing equipment? So that can vary. But What I will say is that you're going to pay for it somewhere, right? Even if you're getting a system for free, as an example, typically they're going to be cutting a corner in some aspect. So again, that goes back to asking questions. I've walked into many scenarios where a customer thought they needed a sensor for every window and door in the house, and they've been quoted accordingly. In reality, they have a hardwired system that's already there. They just need somebody that's experienced enough to know that and understand what it's going to take that over, and have a technician that's trained to do exactly that.
I can only imagine. I can only imagine.
All the time.
Oh
I'm
my
looking
God.
around.
Okay. So why should consumers use ADT versus any other provider?
There's a lot of reasons. In my opinion, I've been in the industry long enough. I've seen and experienced most of the companies that you could choose in the Houston area, especially. 7 million customers, 150 years in business. One thing I think you should ask yourself, and Google it, feel free, pun intended, but Google spent $600 million to become a partner of ADT. You should be asking yourself why that is. Why did State Farm recently choose to spend $1.2 billion with a B to become an ADT partner? It's the same reasons you should choose ADT as your vendor for security. You can rely on, if I have an issue, it will be addressed and timely, because they have to support 7 million customers. That takes a lot of manpower, and it takes a lot of experience to even be able to attempt to support that many customers.
Well, you're right. Good point. I love that. So tell me about some of the products that ADT installs and how they work.
I guess a popular product now is doorbell camera. Everyone seems to want and love the doorbell camera. Matter of fact, there's one here as well. Doorbell camera is extremely convenient. Ring actually invented the doorbell camera, and it was a phenomenal idea, because it's definitely every security company has run with it. Google has since perfected the doorbell camera. If you've had one, you know that notifications 40 throughout the day can be extremely frustrating and annoying. I have no idea if any of those are valuable to me at all. So Google, as an example, has facial recognition, smart notifications, onboard storage. And starting with the facial recognition, instead of getting a notification that says Michelle's at my front door, or I'm sorry, that there was motion at my front door, it will say specifically that Michelle is at my front door. Instead of getting a notification every time a wasp flies in front of my camera, I'm going to not get a notification in that moment. So instead of 30 clips, 29 of which are meaningless, I get one clip of actually what happened, and I know who it was before I've even viewed that clip.
I did not know that. I didn't know that was there. I did not know that was there, because I have a Ring doorbell, and just recently I put up, some Easter decorations, and I put, eggs out for the neighborhood kiddos. Right. And it's cute seeing those videos now. The kids found the eggs last night, so I got some really cute video of that.
That's awesome.
But I like the fact that when someone's passing by and walking their dog, that I'm not going to be notified, by that, because I do get the notifications quite a bit. So I agree with that. I'm going to definitely look into the other option.
Yep.
So Cody, how does everyone get a hold of you?
Well, I would say the website maxprotectionllc.com. Obviously, there's a number on the screen. You can reach out there as well, and customer service at Max Protection LLC. There is a form that you can fill out if you want to be reached out to about having a consultation. And that's one thing that you don't. It doesn't cost you anything to have an expert come out and evaluate what your specific situation is. Worst case, utilize that information to have other discussions, but just feel comfortable in the fact that you're educated in those moments, because you know exactly what you have and what you can and can't do with it.
Well, I think that is a great idea. Thank you so much. And where's your office located?
We are in River Oaks.
I love it. It's a great location, great building, a great team. Yep. And you guys give Cody a call, give the team a call, customer service at Max Protection for your install and inquiry. So thank you so much, and we'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
Thank you.
Working through the legal system is challenging and risky, especially if you don't have the right attorney at your side. Hi, my name is Sonia Aston, and I'm an attorney with over 30 years of experience. I've helped small and medium-sized businesses and business owners to make sure that their legal rights and interests are protected. As general counsel for you and your organization, I can draft and review solid contracts, minimize the risk of litigation, review and prepare comprehensive business succession plans, or help you navigate your company with the local, state, and federal government. Take a decisive step today. I'm here to make sure your legal rights are protected and you have a peace of mind that you deserve.
Hola mi gente bella, soy Saralina Cerón y quiero invitarte para que participes en la segunda edición del Congreso Internacional de Bienestar y Belleza el próximo 2 y 3 de abril en el Centro de Convenciones de Pasadena en Houston, Texas. Expertos en la salud y belleza de otros países se reunirán en nuestra ciudad para enseñarte cómo cuidar la vitalidad de tu cuerpo y tu belleza. Si quieres participar en la Expo Wellness Latino, aún puedes reservar un stand para promocionar tu producto o servicios. Ahí podrás encontrar proveedores de la más alta calidad. Con tu aporte ayudarás a que pacientes con escasos recursos económicos que han sido diagnosticados con cáncer, ansiedad, depresión, dolor crónico y de la tercera edad tengan acceso gratuito a terapias musculares y holísticas. La misión de Liz Wellness es la organización a la cual pertenezco para llevar bienestar y alivio a los más necesitados. Para más información, entra a nuestra página web www.congresolatinousa.com o escribe un mensaje de texto vía WhatsApp al 832-856-5074. Recuerda, soy Saralina Cerón, CEO de la Fundación Liz Wellness y directora del Congreso Latino USA.
Welcome back, everyone. My name is Michelle Briggs. I'm your host for Your Personal Real Estate, and we are continuing our conversation with the owner of iTrip Houston Central West, Yvonne Fadie. How are you doing, Yvonne?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm so excited. Everyone that's watching, we could do a whole show just on the services that she provides. Investors, people that are looking to invest, they're wanting to do Airbnbs, vacation rentals. I'm telling you, this is the woman to know. So Yvonne, please tell us about you and tell us about iTrip.
Sure. So my name is Yvonne Fadie. As you said, I am the owner of iTrip Houston, which is, we are a franchise system and we do property management for short-term rentals. So what that means is when you have a homeowner who has a short-term rental property that they're listing on Airbnb, Vrbo, those types of sites, to get bookings from guests who are coming to town for vacation or business for a whole myriad of reasons. We offer full service management services so that the homeowner does not have to be bothered with managing the property themselves. And we offer services that allow it to be a completely hands-off endeavor for the investor so that it can be a truly passive source of income for them.
So Yvonne, tell us, what got you started in this? Why iTrip?
Well, my background is not in vacation rentals. I have a background in the military and also in transportation. I did about 11 years working as a consultant, working in public transportation, rail and bus systems. But like a lot of people, I got sort of the entrepreneurial bug, and I wanted to go out on my own and cultivate some more autonomy in my life and financial freedom, and so I looked into different franchise opportunities, and iTrip is the one that came to the top, that was the most appealing for me.
Well, your background is perfect for that. I think so. Thank you for your service. Now, what makes iTrip different from others? How does it compare to the Airbnb and VRBO that you had mentioned?
Well,
is there a comparison?
Well, yes and no. We get that question a lot. So you compete with Airbnb, and the answer is no. We don't compete with Airbnb because Airbnb is simply an online marketplace where you can list the property so that potential guests can find it and book it. But if you own a property, you can't go to Airbnb and ask them to manage it for you because they don't offer that service. So what iTrip offers is not only do we list the properties for you, but we do everything else associated with running it as a vacation rental. So we list the property on up to 85 different listing sites that we have partnerships with. We handle all of the guest communications and guest relations, both before the guest is in the property and when they're staying in the property. We handle the cleaning of the property after every guest stay. We do inspections to see if anything has been broken, what needs to be fixed. Any maintenance issues that crop up, we are the ones who will coordinate with the proper contractor to come on to the property and handle that issue. We collect the booking revenue, we remit the taxes to all the taxing authorities. So like I said, it's the whole 9 yards, soup to nuts. It's full service management, and it's much more than just listing the property like Airbnb does for you.
Well, definitely sounds like so much more. Definitely hands-on and having that freedom, because there are investors that are out there that have those rental properties and have the short-term rentals, and they just want to invest, right? And they're moving forward in building that portfolio. So having a partner like you manage all of that. That's what it sounds like.
That's exactly right. There are a lot of folks who own maybe a single property or two, and they're able to do it themselves. But if you are a serious investor who wants to build a portfolio, eventually you're going to get to the point where you can't manage it all yourself. And so you need to bring on a professional property manager, and that's what we can bring to the table.
Great. So when an investor, an individual that is beginning to look for a rental property, that short-term rental, do they reach out to you at that time, or when would be the ideal time within the purchasing of a short-term rental property to build their portfolio? Like, where do you come in, or when do you come into that?
That would be the perfect time. I can come in right at the beginning before they've even found a property, when they're looking at prospective properties that they're considering. If they provide me with the address, I'm able to produce a pro forma, which will give them an idea of the type of short-term rental income that they might be able to expect from that particular property. And that pro forma is developed using historical occupancy data that we have access to for the given area where the property is, as well as looking at the nightly rate that comparable properties in the area are able to charge guests as well.
I love this. Okay, so because I know you work with realtors. I mean, you work with me, and when we're looking for investors in the even tiny home communities. I mean, if they're selling that individual tiny home, you can assist with that, even if it is a small community of 5 or 6. Is that correct? I mean, you can assist with that whole process as well.
Absolutely. Any sort of property that an investor might want to purchase for the purpose of putting on the short-term rental market, we can assist with that.
All right, so you provide estimates for revenues and cost, and recommended rental rates for short-term rentals.
Right.
So when you're gathering that information, you mentioned about a system that you have and historical data. So how long does that information, how does it usually take for you to gather that to be able to provide that information to an individual?
I can do a pro forma in a day or two.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I think that in itself. So once the vacation rental is purchased, once it's complete, what is the role of the services that you provide for the property? You've touched on many.
Right.
But literally, what does it look like? The home is purchased. Start from the beginning. What happens next?
So the home is purchased, and we have to get it ready to have guests come in and stay in it, and put the listing up on the different listing sites and go live. So if the homeowner has a clean slate, they don't have furniture or anything, we can start with a referral to someone who can help them get the property furnished the way that it needs to be. And when it comes to a short-term rental, obviously this is different from a long-term rental. If you signed a lease with a tenant, they're going to have to bring their own furniture. But as a short-term rental, you're going to have to furnish the place. You're going to want to have a certain level of decor, because there's a lot of supply on the market now, and the short-term rental guest has become a lot more discerning. They're looking for a certain type of place to stay in. So certainly you want it to look as nice as your competition. So we're going to start with that. We're going to start with furnishing the place. We're going to get professional photography done using not only a real estate photographer, but a photographer who understands the nuances of short-term rental real estate photography, which is a little different. It's not just photographing the space, but it's also highlighting, you might pull out the drawers in the kitchen and to show, you know, how well appointed the kitchen is, and you might take specific photographs of amenities that are in the home, the lawn games that you have in the backyard, the sorts of things that a short-term rental guest is going to want to see and is going to be able to help them picture themselves in the home and want to rent it when they see the listing. So that's where we'll start, and we'll also do things like install a digital lock on the front door, which allows us to be able to do automatically change the door code every time a booking happens for security purposes, those sorts of things to get the property ready to be a short-term rental.
Well, Yvonne, I know that in your Central West, now what area, what region are you? And I know that there are other iTrip franchises, right? There's other opportunities that are out in our area. How do you work with them? And can you share a little bit of what your region is?
Right. So iTrip, like I said, is a franchise system. So each franchise owner, such as myself, purchases a specific territory. So my specific territory generally is within the loop of Houston, so I'm very centralized in Houston, but we do also have an iTrip owner who owns the territory up in the Woodlands, Conroe area, and we have another iTrip owner down in Galveston. So, you know, when opportunities come across my desk for a property that is in one of those other areas, you know, I'm very happy to pass that referral on to my iTrip colleagues in those areas, and they do the same for me when they get referrals for a property in my area.
That's wonderful. So are you, I mean, are you at 100% capacity? Are you booked up? I mean, are we seeing, how much is iTrip being utilized inside the loop for the short-term rentals?
Well, I'll be honest with you, the short-term rental market is, I won't say it's experiencing a downturn, it's experiencing a normalization after COVID. We were at a certain level prior to COVID, and then COVID happened, and at first everything shut down. But that only took a few months, and then the short-term rental market absolutely exploded because people didn't want to stay in hotels anymore, but they still wanted to travel and they still wanted to have the safety of having their own space. So we're coming down a bit from that high right now, but like I said, it's just a normalization back to where we were pre-COVID. But there are a lot of short-term rentals in Houston. It's definitely a booming market. You know, people were coming to town for the Final Four that we just had. We're not what you would consider a true vacation market. You know, nobody's really booking their dream vacation to Houston, Texas. But there's lots of people coming here for, you know, special events like the Final Four, for business purposes, conferences, medical needs. A lot of folks are coming because unfortunately they need to be in town for an extended period of time for medical treatment. So there's certainly a lot of reasons to come to Houston and book a short-term rental.
Well, I know that I met someone recently over at 411 Grill. We were watching a game, and she literally, that was her intent. She's going throughout all the Houston market, looking at short-term rentals to determine where she wants to move. So even if it is simple as that, you know, iTrip, right? That is
exactly.
You. Excellent. Well, thank you for being here today. And how does everyone get a hold of you?
The best way is to give me a call at 713-996-9060, or website is itrip.net/HCW, or you can email me at yvonne.fedee, F-E-D-E-E, @itrip.net.
Thank you so much for being here today. Again, we could talk about this forever. You guys, we will be right back after this commercial break.
Según el FBI, un robo ocurre cada 13 segundos. Los hogares y negocios sin un sistema de seguridad confiable tienen 300% más de probabilidades de ser robados. Alert 360 proporciona una solución de seguridad sólidas y personalizadas a clientes residenciales y comerciales, ya sea seguridad en el hogar, detección de incendios y monóxido de carbono, protección contra inundaciones, atención conectada para personas mayores, soluciones de vigilancia administradas por video, monitoreo de alarma las 24 horas al día, 7 días a la semana y seguridad de personas. Alert 360 es su solución ideal. Además, Alert 360 tiene integraciones inteligentes para el hogar y el negocio, para una total tranquilidad, protegiendo lo más importante y reduciendo los costos de energía con nuestras funciones de programación automática de primera línea. Alert 360 ofrece descuentos en servicios de seguridad a personal militar, veteranos, primeros respondientes, educadores y personal hospitalario. No seas víctima, da un paso fuerte hoy. Llame a Rosana Torres al 832-863-8574 para su consulta gratuita.
Hi there, this is Matthew Paul, CEO of Mayana Financial, where we'll help you live in the black and set up your financial future. You, as a business owner, is running your business and should not be worrying about your upcoming payroll or other expenses. You, as a family or individual, made a lot of money last year but trying to figure out where everything went. And that's where we come and help you. We are financial coaches and registered financial advisors, where we sit with you, create a budget, and ensure that your high interest debt is paid off and plan for your upcoming expenses. In your business, we will help you understand where the money is going and create a plan so you don't have to borrow at a high interest debt. We come across and help you to attain your financial future. So if you need to learn more about us, you can reach us at 281-435-1888. Again, I am Matthew Paul, CEO of Mayana Financial, where we help you live in the black and set up your financial future.
Well, everyone, we want to thank all of our guests today. Liz Perez with CMG Home Loans, Shona Bascone, Gotcha Covered Galleria, Cody Lehman with Max Protection, and Yvonne Ledee, the owner of iTrip Houston Central West. Thank you for joining us today, and join us next week, Thursday at 5 p.m. We want to be your guide to the real estate market. If you're looking to sell your house or buy a home, I invite you to allow me to be of service to you and your family. I'm Michelle Briggs, and this is Your Personal Real Estate.
This has been a Now Media Television feature presentation. All rights reserved.
La noticia no descansa. De la mano de expertos, te mostramos lo más importante del acontecer nacional e internacional. Política, economía, salud, seguridad. Tú y yo tenemos una cita todos los sábados de 8 a 10 de la mañana por Heraldo Televisión.
Broadcasting live from Houston, from the space city to the world. You are watching Now Media Television.